am I right about?
All right, it says we're live.
Yep. Is anybody watching now?
No, I think we should just share it. You know, like just share it. Like,
All right, yeah. Are you always this herky jerky?
me?
Only when he's got some alcohol in him.
Okay, that's on me.
Let's see here.
All right, we got one person watching. Hello, person.
Hello.
We are. You want me to introduce?
Go ahead. You're the link.
All right. Did you post that link in the Facebook group?
Hang on. I just need to put in.
Okay, we're dealing with some technical stuff, aka this guy here. So.
All right. So hang on.
Come on, just copy the link and put it in Facebook.
Yeah. I'm on it. I'm working on it.
Come on.
I'll work on it.
I am.
Come on. What are you doing?
It just needs to be put, in a way that, Okay, hang on. Okay.
Can they see this when we're not?
Yeah. As long as the light is on, it's.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
I better behave myself then.
Hey, one person who's watching, ask a question. Any question?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we'll just introduce who we are to anyone who's uninitiated. We are Christian and the Hedgehog Boys. We were supposed to be at Anime Midwest this weekend, but then the world decided to go to shit.
Then 2020 happened.
Yeah. So right now we are in my friend's parlor room, just chilling out, having a good time, and we're just trying to get this put on Facebook. Why don't you just copy the link and put it in Facebook?
No. It's. Hang on.
There.
And get us back to the main live stream. There we go. Okay. All right, we got two people.
Yes.
Okay, so let's.
Now it's a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a house party now. All right, let's just do what we normally do and just introduce ourselves as though we were at a panel. You go first.
Hi, I'm Jan. I'm the unappreciated work mule of this group.
Hello, my name's Ian. I'm the only sane man.
That's a lie.
And I am Wade. I typically play the role of Christian. Here, Jan, could you scoot over a little bit so I can get in?
Alrighty.
And as you can see, I typically play Christian, but today we aren't going to be doing much of a live stream as we are going, or as much of a live performance as it were. It's more of just, we're going to be talking about Christian, we're going to be talking about Christian the Hedgehog Boys itself, we're going to be doing some, Q&A. So if you got any questions, just chime in anytime. So I don't know, how do you guys want to start this?
I mean, maybe let's just start with like our experiences with Christian and how we first discovered him.
Yeah, you want to go first? Wait.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I first discovered Chris back in it had to have been the fall of 2017 or something like that. I think didn't you share with me the video?
Yeah, I think I sent you that video. Yeah.
Yeah, the video, down the rabbit hole video.
Yeah, like Frederick Knudsen.
Yeah. And I watched it, and I was just completely astounded that this person exists. I was just like, what the fuck is this person's deal? I didn't understand anything about what he was, what he was into, what his deal was, all that stuff, and we just we just kind of took it from there. I watched the Ben Saint video on Chris Chan, which is directly about the Sonichu canon. Um, Watched all of Geno Samuel's documentary, um, and it just sort of snowballed from there. What about you guys?
I mean, I think I knew Chris Chan like bits and pieces of him since maybe 2011, but I avoided the subject altogether because I thought it was like too cringy for me. Like I couldn't handle that much cringe, and over time I got more and more found out more like the first video involving Chris Chan I think I ever watched was like that was featured in an Honest Trailers video, like the one for appropriately Sonic. It was the one that if I was a homosexual, would I be having sex with three women? And,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then over time, and then I went, and then I discovered the Frederick Knudsen video, the Down the Rabbit Hole video, and that's where it all started to piece together. And I and I was almost thirsty for more, and then he showed me the Geno Samuel videos, and
Oh,
it,
I showed you the Geno.
yeah. You're the one that introduced me to it. Like
Oh,
you were like when I started, you were way ahead of me when.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would have had to have been what, like spring of 2018, something
Yeah,
like that.
that's when it all. That's when it came tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. You're turning in.
Yeah, I actually first heard about Chris through Atop the Fourth Wall, Linkara's show, but in his video about different comic books that he was not going to review, and what by that, and I just kind of didn't pay any attention until I too saw the Frederick Knudsen's video on it. That's when I first became really aware of Chris.
Yeah, like that was the beginning. Like, like that's the common thing of us with Chris Chan. Like, we were probably aware to a certain degree.
Yeah, we had heard of him before
Yeah.
that, but we didn't really know him until that.
You want to know how I knew about Chris Chan? Or how, like, my first exposure to him? There was, that picture where he's wearing, like, girly makeup and has, like, the long hair and shit?
Yeah.
Well, I think that picture was used in some kind of tabloid news story about a man who was pretending to be, like, an adult baby who, like, abandoned his family or some shit.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, and they used that picture of Chris Chan, and I always thought that was just some dude in Europe who abandoned his family. But then
why did they use a picture of Chris in the video? Just like
I don't know. I don't think they actually had a photograph of the real man.
Oh.
So they just used what they had on hand. And also, just keep in mind, people can watch this later. So
Yeah.
So they can come back and. Sorry,
Yeah,
fireworks outside.
Order shell.
Yeah, we're fine. Just don't. If you hear an explosion noise in the background, it's just fireworks.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the band itself.
Yeah.
What since this was me and Jan who started this, what are your recollections of how it got started?
It's actually kind of funny because we were like messaging each other. I remember this because I was at work, like it was my lunch break. We were thinking he wanted to get in on the whole like panel hosting scene, and we were brainstorming what we're. Come on, it's not even night, guys. Shut up. And fireworks. We were thinking about like potential like panel ideas for like Anime Zap of 2019. Yeah,
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like going through things. What are like the niche things we both enjoy, and I brought up like because that was when we were both already knee deep into like Chris Chan stuff, and I was thinking about all the like bad fanfic readings, and I just thought maybe we should give our hand at it. Like it was. Let me stress this: the Chris Chan Sonichu panel was a complete and total afterthought. Like it was like we thought our like berserk or conspiracy theories panel would be the big
Because
one.
we did those also.
Yeah.
We wanted to do a bad fanfic panel. That's how it started. But we couldn't think of what the hook was because, sort of a lot of stuff gets played out, like, My Immortal or 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, those are fun, but they're not like, plenty of other people do those and can do those better than we could. It's like we wanted to think of a hook that would work for us. So we were sort of brainstorming. This was all through like October, early November of 2018.
Yeah.
And we were trying to think of a hook. And then I realized that we had spent almost a year obsessing over Chris Chan, realizing that the basis of his discovery on the internet was a bad webcomic that was full of material that was funnier than fuck that we could just use that no one was seemingly using.
Yeah.
So we were like, hey, why don't we just make it about Sonichu? Why don't we just read Sonichu? And that's how it took off from there. Me and him were like, we got it, sort of started. We were like, oh, okay, I'll be Chris Chan. You'll play Sonichu. That's where he developed the Sonichu voice.
Yeah, like the voice that sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Right. And we didn't have a Rose Chew at that point because Ian had not been cast yet.
Yeah, they didn't even bother to come and ask me. Really.
I didn't know you until I sort of knew you, but we didn't actually talk together until like Zap 2019. Yeah. So even if I wanted to, like I couldn't.
To be perfectly honest, it all just sort of took off. Like we didn't know where it was going, so we just kind of did what we could with it. And what ended up happening, we talked to this guy, Donnie. He's like a collaborator. He's like an occasional collaborator of ours, longtime friend. And we were like, hey, do you want to get involved with this with us? And he was basically like, yeah, sure. What do I have to do? So we sat him down before Anime Zap, and we showed him the Frederick Knudsen video about Chris Chan and Sonichu, just to be like, well, here he is. And, he took to it immediately. He thought of a nice girly voice for Rose. He thought of a great voice. I don't mean to demean you guys, but like Donnie is still my absolute favorite. Jerkeith, the chief jerk cop, is like the main villain in the comics. He's still my favorite incarnation of that character. And so he was with us for the first con, and then we realized, hey, this is really working. We could run with this. And so then I think, did you approach us or did we approach you?
No, I came.
I think it was like a mutual approach.
Well, sort of. I came to you guys and I said that one of the panels that was going on that year that I really wanted to go see was the Always Sunny in Quickville, and you're like, oh, that's us.
Oh, okay. So it was just kind of a melding of the.
Yeah, because I was also doing the conspiracy theory panel with you guys.
And then we said, yeah, you can come with us when we do Midwest next year.
Yeah.
Or next summer. But we still had not heard like your Rose Chew or anything. We were just like, look, we'll just jam this out over at his place over the summer. Went there, and you did a great Rose Chew.
Thank you, my sweet boat.
You need to be talking to him, not me.
Yeah.
You don't want to be Chris Chan, sweet boy. But that was a funny jam session that we had because I remember your mom was home and it was like, if I get caught wearing this costume, I'm gonna look like I walked out of a mental home.
I mean, that's kind of she's used to that with my friends. Like my siblings have the normal, like hip preppy friends. I'm stuck with these two weirdos, so and I wouldn't have it any other way.
And so after we knew that Ian could do Rose Chew, we went to Midwest. Midwest, how do you guys rank last Midwest as a?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Like,
Midwest is always really good.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun panel. I wasn't particularly I wasn't disappointed by any means, but I felt like that some of the technical things that we were trying to do, we were kind of overstretching ourselves, like the musical tie.
As you
Yeah.
can probably see from the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, we're not very technically capable.
I mean, I'm the most technically capable of the three, and look at me, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was still pleased with how it turned out. That was where I got the idea to do the Q&A panel,
Yes.
which is kind of what we split. Typically, if you ever catch us at a con, typically we do two panels.
If cons still exist within the next couple of years.
Well, the world still exists.
Yeah.
But anyway, when you see us at cons, typically in the schedule, if the scheduling process isn't a complete bitch like it has been sometimes with other cons, you'll typically see us in a Sonichu live reading panel and a Chris Chan Q&A panel. That idea came up at Midwest because we realized that there was an audience of people who just wanted to hear about Chris.
Yeah. They had known Chris from his earlier years, but they weren't really sure what he was up to now.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people who go, like I talk to people at these panels and they tell me, hey, I've known Chris Chan for years, but these two guys or these three guys or this girl that I brought to the panel with me has never heard of Chris Chan. And those are always the great because we always get into the most raunchy topics from there. So we tried the Q&A panel out at Anime Zing, and I thought that went pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was your favorite part of the Zing weekend.
Yeah.
The Q&A panel went really well. That's where we first worked with Hams. Shout out to Hams if you're out there.
If you're watching.
Yes, please watch us. Please watch it. Or watch us later, because this will be recorded, so it's all good. Yeah, that was my memory of Zing. Zing was a real, breezy con. We had about, like 20 people in that room.
Yeah,
we pulled a pretty big crowd. We did the sing-along to... I almost called it I Want It That Way.
I want a girlfriend.
So Need a Cute Girl.
So Need a Cute Girl.
Yeah, that's the official name of the song. So yeah, it went well. And we decided, hey, this worked. We'll bring this back at the next con. And now we go into, here, I got this. What are your guys' memory of CAD? Con Alt Delete.
I'll delete.
December 2019.
I mean, let's see here. What is there to say? I mean, that a lot of stuff happened that weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I was blackout drunk the entire time. So I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Of course not.
You don't even drink, bro.
Hey, I drink hard.
Hey, but that was good. You had me going for a second.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I've always had a good time at every one of our conventions that we go to.
Oh yeah, and I was just asking. You remember when we went to the hotel bar?
Yes.
And we had like cheeseburgers together. And you remember when I had like, how much did I have? I had the Long Island iced tea,
of course.
which was like this big drink. It was like in this really big glass. Did I have anything else?
Do you want to know the answer?
Yes, please.
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what.
Was it at the bar or was it at the hotel room?
It was at both.
Okay, what did I have at the bar? I only remember the Long
I don't know,
Island.
man. I don't drink. So
what's funny is that I was able to hijack a like ghost stories
Oh yes.
panel and because the panelists didn't show up and
You always love
That's
those. Hey, that's how we met.
yeah.
Real quick tangent. The way that I met Ian was that I was at this conspiracy theory panel.
Yeah, it was at Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest 2017. The panelists just didn't show, and of course there were jokes to be made about that, like the CIA murked these guys
Yeah.
coming to the event. And so it was, I was the last one to volunteer.
Yeah, it was originally me and another girl.
Yeah, her name,
Do you remember her name? Unfortunately, I didn't keep in contact.
I think it was like Laney or something.
Yeah, but we took over the panel just again doing Q&A about various conspiracy theories, and then Wade wanted to come up, and I said sure.
Yeah. I mean, I joined, and I was actually a little bit inebriated at the time. But
I couldn't tell.
well, I held it. I could hear myself, and I was like, "Oh wow, I'm keeping this together real well." Because I talked about Amelia Earhart supposedly being captured on Saipan by the Japanese and stuff. So that was fun. That's how me and Ian met.
all right. So as I was saying, like I was hosting like this ghost ghost stories panel, and I basically messaged these two like stooges to hey come on down. I've hijacked this great panel and
I think I was in another panel, unfortunately, so I couldn't.
Oh, I was just walking around. I was just trying to.
and he just came crashing in. Like I think I was like he later told me he was drunk, so
Oh,
that
you couldn't tell I was drunk?
I thought it was just I thought you were just being yourself honest.
I mean, he is drunk.
That was right after. That was right after we were at the bar.
Yeah.
Because after the bar, you went to go to some panel, right?
Yeah.
Because you knew that we had a few hours to kill before we even had to rehearse. So yeah, I had a Long Island iced tea in me. I'm pretty sure I went back to the room and slugged a few beers. And then I get this message from Jan like, "Hey, come down to this ghost stories panel. We need to talk about stuff." And I showed up and we started talking about. What was I talking about at that panel?
Don't look at me. I wasn't there.
I mean, I actually think that I actually do not remember because I think you were just slurred. Your speech was completely so slurred that I think you were trying to make some kind of point, but
Yeah, I don't even think what I was talking about was about ghosts. But
maybe about Ghost Dad.
well, so after that point, I think I collected you and I messaged Ian and Donnie, "Hey, meet me in the hotel room," and we did kind of a jam session for that night, which went pretty well.
Oh yeah.
I drank a little bit more, but I wasn't like I was pacing it out enough to where I would be fine for the panel. And then, what do you guys remember about the show itself?
I mean, was it the first show that the other girls like joined us, or
Yeah, was it?
No.
Was that?
No, Gabby wasn't with us.
Oh, Gabby was for our. By the way, if you're watching this, hi Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby, thank you. Everyone who supports us, thank you so much. I know that probably a lot of you are out at parties right now, but
Yes.
Or at like Zoom web calls, like like Zoom watches of like the fireworks. Maybe that's
here,
what you guys are doing.
I'm going to pause the CAD story real quick to demonstrate something for you guys. So when I was at CAD, I wanted something alcoholic to drink while I was at the panel. So thinking I was being smart, I mixed Fanta, the, of course, favorite drink of Christian, with rum chata because, well, insert cum joke here. So here's what happens when you mix rum chata with Fanta. Here, all you have to do is shake it a little bit.
We're about to do some science.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
I,
Here, does anyone have?
Oh.
I'll just stir it with my fingers.
yeah, I can see what's going on.
Okay. You see that? Look at that. It is no longer a clear liquid. It is now absolutely, it is a, oh, look at the top. It is now a caked on, like, massive, I don't know if it's a solid or a liquid.
Yeah, semi-solid.
But I think you have to let it sit for a little bit, because I remember after I poured this, I went up to do my song, which I'll talk about in a second, and we got through the opening comic. I think when you guys were doing the Genesis of the Love Hogs,
Yes.
I went down just because I was waiting, for my part of the set to start, and I was like, what? And I looked down, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I don't know what causes this kind of reaction, but
I mean, at this point, we're not just a Sonic Shoe group. We might as well be like a Breaking Bad group now.
yeah, because this, I don't know what you classify this as. It's,
That's a lot of foam.
yeah, it's
Chemistry. It's not the science of matter.
It's like
it's
that-
the science of change.
It's like that meme where it's like the face guy that's kind of extended. It's like chemist spelled with like a K,
Yeah.
K-E-M. So let's talk about the CAD show. So we get going on CAD. What did you guys think of that show? Like, how do you think it went?
I think it went great. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember much from it. I think it went great. Like, I mean, what were some of the highlight of it was basically debuting our favorite comic to date. Like,
Oh, yes, yes. Which means I have to rewind back to November when we were getting ready for CAD and Zap,
Yes.
respectively, because they're like within 2 weeks of each other, so it made sense to just get ready for both. So we get on there. We do the jam session where we're reading through comics. We realized that Story of My Broken Heart or
Yes.
whatever, that just wasn't hitting. It's just kind of a boring story about a girl who fucked over Christian.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's a
Tale is of
cliche.
this time.
right.
Beauty and the Beast.
So we didn't really have. So we were just going through the comic, just looking for stuff that we think would work. Then we stumble across Mick Attack, which is basically in the story of the comic, Christian encounters a mall cop and who basically says, "You're not allowed to find love here,"
Yes.
and he's in like this mech suit with like some minions around him. This is after the first jerk cop meeting, and so he armors up. Christian turns into Christian Sonichu, and they fight. But there were several lines in it that sold it for us. There was one motherfucking line that sold this comic for us in terms of us doing it. You guys remember what that was?
Yes.
Was that the
Not the 9/11 one.
The shopping one.
Oh yes.
Yeah, where the line is
What it's something like I have to spell out my attraction for women because they're spending too much damn time shopping.
No, all they have on their mind
Mine's
is
is shopping.
shopping.
yeah, which is like that is such a classic, like that's the shit you would hear in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like a women be shopping routine. And so when we read that line, I think we had to stop for a good 5 minutes as we had to, just get all the laughs out of just Did he really fucking write that?
No, for me it was more like he thinks that's the reason women don't pay attention to him because they have shopping on their mind.
Yes.
So we were like, oh, we're doing this comic for sure.
Yeah.
And we were doing the subsequent comic, which is like, I think the jerk off chief comes back.
Yeah. And Chris has to get help from his identical twin spirit sister that comes out of
Yeah.
his heart.
That concept asks so many questions.
I know.
All of them are rhetorical, not because I know the answer, but because I don't want to know the answer.
Very true. And then the next day, the day after the show, oh God, I'm so hungover. it was a rough day to just sort of stumble around, and fortunately we didn't have the Q&A session until like it was like late. Well, not late, but the sun had gone down by that point. So I had enough time to kind of, wake myself up and
Drink some pickle juice.
yeah. Boy, my mouth felt like a pickle jar, I tell you. And was that the one where someone asked why do we hate Chris Chan's parents?
Yeah. That was one of the weirdest questions that we've been asked. Because we did the Q&A and afterwards, and somebody asked us, "Hey, why do you hate his parents so much?" We're like, huh?
Yeah. It's like we had never never made any compunction.
I mean, we kind of criticized his parents, but
sure, but we never said, oh, fuck Barb, fuck Bob.
Yeah, those fucking bitches and assholes. No, we never did that.
Yeah. I mean, I am all for giving Bob and Barb the fair shake as far as, parenting Chris goes and, their own idiosyncrasies is like, because, there are some pieces of work too.
Yeah.
But we do not hate them. I mean, why would we hate them? They didn't do anything to us.
I mean, if anything, they indirectly created our entire con career.
Yeah.
So I drink to them.
Yeah, drink to that. It's kind of like when Bart is talking to the comic book guy in that Simpsons episode, where the comic book guy is like, they owe me as a fan, and then Bart is like, wait, how do they owe you? They've given you thousands of hours of free entertainment. If anything, you owe them. That's sort of how I feel about it. But I hold no ill will to that guy.
Yeah.
I just think he was a bit confused as to
Yes.
what we're here to do. That's something that I want to point out, that Hedgehog Boys is not a group that is built on negativity or hatred of Chris or even dislike of Chris. This is a celebration of a life that has given so much entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Not a bully stream. We're not a bully stream.
Not a bully stream. And again, I am for giving Chris the fair shake on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go out of our way and just troll Chris. In fact, that's a thing that I take a hardline stance against.
I just had the nasty part of the rum chata Fanta. Don't try this at home, kids.
What was the
Like the foamy
The
part.
actual foam.
oh,
Yeah, that's.
it's like a disc.
Yeah.
Look, it's formed. It's like a continent sitting on top of the.
This almost feels like a Dennis the Menace trap, like Home Alone trap. That's what I meant.
Oh, like you stick your hand in it and
Yeah.
it's stuck.
Or like it triggers like some like contraptions and like both Fanta and rum chata get mixed and it turns into a foam where the baddies get caught in. So
Yes, just that.
Yeah. So CAD 2019 successful con.
Yep.
Had a lot of fun. If CAD is still here at the end of the year, we will be there.
or if this is a message to the future of a long dead civilization, I don't know what to say. Just
2020 was a wacky year.
I mean, maybe I should do that reenactment of that one Cowboy Bebop episode where like Faye discovers that videotape. And have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
No.
Do you remember that? Okay, whatever.
I'm sure when some people rewatch this, they'll be that's a scary thought. Imagine if the world did end and the only thing found by aliens afterwards was only Chris Chan videos.
What the fuck was wrong with that civilization?
It deserves to be bones.
By the waters of Babylon or by the font of Chris?
I don't want the font of Chris.
Chris.
The font of Chris has a little too much Chris in it.
Is it better than the font in Evangelion or?
I would rather drink a whole keg of that stuff than drink the font of Chris. I would drink it with a big wide smile on my face. So after that con, we had probably our shortest break ever.
Yeah.
It was like a week and a half before we moved on to Zap.
Yep.
Zap 2020. That's how we kicked off the year.
So much hope and optimism.
Well, so what did you guys think of Zap 2020
Oh, I loved it.
as far as the show?
Yeah, it went great.
Yeah. It was the first time I wanted Hams to have some time in the driver's seat as Chris Chan. Did really well. But eventually Hams relinquished the steering wheel to me. Like, this is too much. And even for me, it's like, oh God, what's going on? Do you guys remember anything about that panel that you want to point out, that particular show?
A particular show? Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I mean, it was a good show.
I mean, it was good to bounce off an actual girl for once, like with.
Oh yeah, was that with that one girl?
Yeah, Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby.
So
she was actually took over Rose Jew.
yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking of something. I don't really have anything else to say about Zach. It was a good show.
Now let's talk about Amkey. Now I'm gonna be real with you guys. Amkey, like, no offense to any Amkey organizers, like, it wasn't the best con I went to. Like, it was all right. Like, considering the effort we had to get there, like.
Yeah, it was just.
Well, I think we would have a more favorable opinion if we had showed up like 3 hours later.
Yeah, we unfortunately got there really damn early.
Yeah, I thought. Well, the whole reason that we left so early was because I thought that we were going to deal with traffic. I heard it was going to snow that day, so we wanted to get a head start on that. But no, we had calm weather.
Yep, calm weather, still incredibly cold, which
Yeah.
really fucking sucked when we had to walk to the car.
Yeah,
Back.
we had to park in this parking garage.
Yeah, the one parking garage I met that has no fucking elevator.
Yeah, I know. But so I agree with that about. Damn, that was a twofer.
I just really hate elevators that much.
You hate elevators?
No,
or-
never mind.
Okay.
Come on.
I was like, that seems a bit contradictory.
No, the joke fell flat. Go ahead.
But our performance at Amkey.
And the panel at Amkey is one of my favorites. that we've ever
we
done.
had a great audience.
Yes,
there.
and the audience made it. So if any of you who watch this later were at Amkey, thank you for making it the show that it was.
I think the highlight of Amkey was the whole crowd started shouting "Red Pill."
Yeah. Oh yeah. What did they start shouting "Red Pill" at? I forgot the exact like.
Was it where it's like it's illegal to have a bait here, and
Yes.
I said incels rise up.
Yeah, and that's what triggered it. Everyone started pumping their fists, like, incel, or not incel, red pill, red pill,
Red Pill.
We gotta- Oh yeah. We had a few chanting moments because a few people started chanting CWC, CWC. I mean that.
It was like the riot scene in Joker. Like,
Oh yeah. That's
like,
what.
like that was our blood smile moment. Like,
Yeah. So if the world were to be ending, that would be a good moment to leave off on.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, but did we try anything new in Amphi? I think it was the same lineup.
yeah, I mean,
It was just us there. So
yeah, and we usually leave the experimentation for like something like Zap, like, you know.
Yes, a con where we know that we're going to do well.
yeah.
Or we're at least going to have an audience. It's not going to be anything too crazy. But man, that audience alone, if once Amphi comes back, we need to go back.
Yeah.
But we need to go back later. Because I don't mind driving at night, so it's not that big of a deal if we show up at like 5 and stay till, what was our show, like 10?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. But showing up at 1 and then going at 10, that's a little different story. But that's the only thing I do differently. I absolutely loved Amki. I loved our audience. I didn't particularly care for the way the con was organized and ran.
For me, there was nothing else there to do. Just none of the panels held my interest at all.
Well, fortunately, there is one thing that Amki did that I appreciated. It's that when we got into Amki and we were like confirmed, initially we were supposed to have a 10 a.m. slot time, and I emailed them and said, I don't think that we're going to be able to make a 10 a.m. slot time, even if everything goes well. So I emailed them like, please, we need a later spot. We'll take whatever later spot that you have for us. And they said, well, we've got a 10 p.m. slot. Like, fine,
Perfect.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like nighttime shows more anyway.
I mean, that's basically a nighttime, like, it's like the perfect balance of you being drunk and sober. Like,
yeah. I mean, none of us were drinking.
yeah, like I was about to say that Zap is also good for experimentation because it's the only con where this guy doesn't drink at. So
well, any con where I have to do the transportation, I will not drink anything at all. But if I'm in a hotel room, I'm going to drink.
Yep.
Okay? That's just how it goes. But yeah, really, really loved Amkey. Really hope it doesn't get shit canned and that we can go back and we get another rowdy crowd together.
Yep.
That'd be awesome. Let's see. I think that's all the cons that we've done.
yeah. What single person here? Any questions?
No.
That's
All right.
Okay.
Happy
Well,
4th of July.
yeah. Happy 4th of July. Hey, we had a great time doing this. I hope that you enjoy watching this in retrospect. If you have any questions, this video will be posted on our Facebook page. Just leave your question down in the comments, and we will answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because we love you. We think you're the best fans in the world. And we hope to see you when cons come back. Right now, Hedgehog Boys is employing a very smart strategy right now of any port in the storm.
Yep.
So we will see you when we see you.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
That was